Hey y'all, it's your girl Kimberly P. Welcome back to my channel KP Sparks. If you're new here or you just want to hear my intro again, my aim is to encourage you to vigorously go after your passions with a sprinkle of tech. So today we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of a huge part of my life, and that part of my life that I'm covering today is me being a black woman in corporate America. Now, before I continue, I just want to spread my condolences and really, I don't know, I'm tired, to be honest, of saying my sympathy to my black men and women that are dying at the hands of police brutality, of just police that are using their power in such an ugly way, to be honest. And those families that some of them aren't even police, but those families that I want to acknowledge right now are the families of Ahmaud Arbery, families of George Floyd, families of Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on. Y'all, I'm just tired. I don't know about you, but I'm just tired. Like, I'm just tired. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I want to cover how it feels like to be a black woman in corporate America. I feel like history is repeating itself in front of our eyes. Now, it may not be to the extreme case of how things were way back in the day when you had to go to a separate, water fountain because of the color of your skin. I feel like history was repeating itself because I experienced things in corporate America as a black woman myself. I don't be talking about all the time. And maybe you don't have a lot of resources to know that these things kind of happen, but I feel like this video would be a great way to share my one-on-one experience on, or the struggles that I face as a black woman in corporate America, and also what you all shared on my poll. I did a little poll on Instagram, and you guys shared a lot of common things that I've experienced. So it was kind of funny, to be honest. But before I continue, just want to share how I've been feeling about the Black Lives Matter movement and everything going on. And it's been a combination of emotions, y'all. One moment I feel really angry, one moment I'm really, really sad, one moment I'm like, what can I do? Especially as a content creator, you're kind of looked at as like, okay, it's like an unspoken pressure, like, I gotta make sure I read the room right now. But then again, I also want to be a source of joy to whoever reaches my platform. So it's just a weird time, to be honest. And I kind of just said I'm gonna just halt myself from like creating right now, at least video content, and like give myself time to process how I really and actually feel about this. I was able to attend my first protest, and I can definitely talk about that in a later video, but it was so powerful, so powerful. And I was able to go down to DC to see Black Lives Matter, the mural painted on right in front of the White House. So I was able to see that. It was very emotional, and I just feel like this is the first time black and white people are forced to see what is happening because we're in a pandemic. So it's like white people are like, oh snap, for the first time. And we've been like, nah, this is what this is how we're oppressed. We've known all this stuff happening already, like. But anyway, so the day that Breonna Taylor's birthday landed on, I actually was just an emotional wreck. I feel like I was, because I'm like, that could have happened to anybody. And she was supposed to turn 27 on June 5th, and I turned 27 next month. And she was just a young woman going after her passion. She was a essential worker, helping us in this coronavirus pandemic, and it just hit me so much. And I just I think it even motivates me even more to inspire you guys and encourage you all to just continue doing what the Lord has placed in your heart to do while you're here on earth, especially as a black woman. And y'all know I've always been true to this, like, breaking stigmas, whatever area you're in, like, be a boss babe at it, regardless if you're black, because God has placed you in that area. So I just want to give you all a little bit more background on my experience working in corporate America. I've been working in corporate America for a good amount of time. It hasn't been like years upon years, but I've been in corporate America since I was an intern my senior year of college, which was around like 2015. Yeah, 2015, so 5 years. And yeah, it's been super eye-opening. I've learned a lot about myself, but I've also learned how it is to be black. So starting off actually in my undergrad degree, I was computer science. If you are new to my channel, I studied computer science in college. And if you don't know already, that field is mainly dominated with Caucasian men. It's just facts. It's like a lot of Caucasian men and a lot of Asian men that are in it. It's like 1 or 2 sprinkles of black people. But like throughout my time of being at College Park, that was the school I went to, people just dropped off because it's hard, and it's a combination of us, you know, I didn't have the skill set from being in high school. I didn't have the opportunities to go to a school where they taught me that beforehand, and also not seeing a lot of people that are saying that look like you. So it's like, hey, maybe this is just not for me. So combination of those 2 things. So constantly having to tell myself, like, Kim, you are here for a reason. Like, there's a reason why God has placed you in this major, to be a light. And I feel like that's even why I have my platform. So yeah, 1 year I actually, like, I was saved. So I walked around that building. I said, hey God, I said a prayer. I walked around that building like 7 times and said, God, if this is mine, like, I want it to be mine. Like, I'm gonna graduate from this college. That's what I told myself. So that happened, and yeah, I was one of 2 black females to graduate computer science that year. 1 of 2, not a percentage, not 1%. 1 of 2 black females to graduate from college computer science that year. And I think when I graduated and I started working in corporate America, that's when it finally started to like sink in that, like, there's not a lot of people that look like you in this field, KP. Like, very small little sprinkles here and there, like, not a lot of people. So I learned that really quickly when I first started working at my job. My job is amazing, but I wanted to be more plugged in with the African American side of my firm, and like just the people that work there that look like me. So I attended a African American forum, and a lot of people were sharing their experiences, and that was their experience. But I had just started working at the firm, so I didn't really have anything to build off of. But I kind of left the meeting with like a defensive feeling, like I have to stick up for myself, because if I don't stick up for myself, nobody gonna hold me down. So I mentioned this in a previous video from like 2 years ago, but I felt like I had to be that B. Like, I had to act like a B. Like, in order to get stuff done, I had to act like a B in order for people to take me seriously in this field. And I went into my first project with that mindset, and I felt myself being super defensive when people would offer help that were of a different color, and I didn't really like the person that was turning into, to be quite honest. And I snapped out of it really quickly. I remember in my first project, like, talking to someone and saying, like, why would you look at my code, and why would you do that to my code? Do you think I don't know what I'm doing? And it's just like, it was uncalled for. So I kind of had to form my own experiences. Although that was their experience, I had to form my own experiences in corporate America as a black woman, so that I don't constantly become like that defensive person that nobody can touch or nobody can mess with, when in actuality people are just trying to help you to get your work done. Later on, I got to know more people of different shades, of different colors, but once again, there weren't a lot of melanin filled women in the field. There's not a lot. I don't know, it's like I had a hard time making friends. It's not like I don't want to make friends with people of different races, but it's kind of like I don't have a lot to relate to you, since I grew up in like a predominantly black environment. I don't know, it was just challenging making friends at a certain point at work. It was super challenging, and thankfully I had friends outside of work, but yeah, I don't know, it was just challenging, y'all. And I can't blame that on race. It was challenging. So later on, as I got on a project that I was on for a longer amount of time, I was able to, you know, form friendships with people, because, you know, spending more time with them. And y'all know me, I change my hair all the time. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Like maybe it's a black girl thing, but changing hair is fun. It's just an expression of how you feel. This season of my life I want to feel very fierce, so I want jet black hair. Not even a season, this month, because I change every month. I just want jet black hair, and the next season I'm probably, you know, maybe gonna have my natural hair out. It's fun. But when you're a black woman in corporate America, it's the talk of the town. It's the talk of the town, to the point where you will meet someone in the elevator and they see you with one hairstyle. If you come the next week with a different hairstyle, they don't know who you are. Yes, I'm not exaggerating either. Or it will be the main topic, like, oh my gosh, you changed your hair again? Let's start the meeting talking about your hair. I've had a meeting literally where it started off, the camera came on, during this pandemic, the camera came on, and one of my coworkers were like, and then someone said, oh my gosh, I feel like every time I get on this call, like I can't wait to see what KP does with her hair. And I'm like, I just joked around, I was like, yeah, I gotta keep y'all on your feet. But it's always a topic, y'all. It's literally always a topic when you're a black woman in corporate America. If you change your hair, it's just what it is. Now, I had phases where I didn't know if wearing your natural hair out was professional, but I kind of got over that, because I'm like, this is how my hair is naturally, and I don't like, my natural hair shouldn't be considered unprofessional. I'm one of those babies. You come to me, you ask me, should you wear your natural hair out on your interview? I'm like, go for it, because what they gonna do, huh? What they gonna do? I want to know. Okay. Also, another thing that I've experienced in working in corporate America is just a constant battle of like trying to prove that you are smart enough. It kind of goes into what I was talking about originally, of having to prove yourself. I really had to shift my mind and tell myself I'm not a victim, although there are things that, you know, kind of make me feel like, you know, I'm lesser than, like, especially what's going on in the world right now because of my skin color. But I tell myself, like, one thing I used to do when I drove into work was like pray. I pray that God would give me the same wisdom he gave Solomon, because he gave Solomon wisdom and more than he even prayed for when I go into work. So I walk out in that confidence, but it is a daily thing that I have to remind myself of, because of just not seeing a lot of people that look like me, so I can feel super insecure, super like, what am I talking about? Oh my gosh, let me not throw in a slang and say jaw like by mistake, because they're gonna think I'm uneducated. You know, I do have my corporate America voice, so that's another thing that, like, I gotta keep in mind. I would say the last thing for me is also not coming off as too aggressive. For me, I know I'm a dominant woman. Like I know when I'm mindset on something, it's like, nah, this is what it is and what it ain't, you know. And I hate to say, I hate when I think about it, but it's like, dang, if I'm too assertive, or if I tell someone they're wrong in something, will I be looked at as an angry black woman because I'm being honest about something? Or if I laugh too loud, is that like super loud because, you know, I'm black? I don't know. It's just stuff that goes on in my head, and it's like unspoken things. Like I'll see like my other coworkers that are like of different races, and they will be wilding out at the mouth and like cussing, and like if they're angry they show it, you know. But it's like, I ask myself, if I do that, like y'all would be scared to talk to me. Would I still have a job? Outside of that not being my character too wild at work, but if I ever try to do that, like, would I still have a job? Like, I think about that stuff as well, because I'm like, yeah, y'all be getting away with stuff that I could never. And I'm currently going through a lot of the responses that I got on Instagram, and like I'm reading through them, and I literally said almost all of them. Now I just want to end this video with a challenge. This challenge is a challenge for me and a challenge for you, but I just wanted to end this video with a conversation that I had that really helped bridge the gap, especially to to talk on the things that are currently happening in the world, and maybe it can help you as well as you are trying to navigate how you're feeling about just our Black people dying, our Black kings and queens dying, to let you also know that like God is gonna use this, and nothing is wasted. So I feel like I had a conversation similar to Stephen Furtick and John Gray. If you haven't watched that Elevation conversation, please tune in, and I think it's called Bridging the Gap. But the conversation was with a Caucasian man and a Black male during the week that George Floyd passed. I was going through a lot in my head, especially while I was working, and I brought it up in a meeting how important it is for us to talk about these things, because we're so big on diversity. The head of our firm sent out something, but it wasn't brought up in our more immediate teams, and I just brought it up in my meeting, like I really feel like we should cover this in an open forum. And we later on had that, and it was really, really good. But my coworker, and she's a white lady, she reached out to me just to talk to me about like, you know, what's going on, and what about those days where you are mourning a Black king that you didn't even know that got killed by the knee of a police, being on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Those days where a day like that where you're really, your mind is kind of just, you know, out of it, to be honest. So she reached out to me and we had a one-on-one conversation, and I was able to talk to her about like the serious matter at hand. And I actually cried, y'all. Like I cried, and I just told her like I'm just tired, and I really appreciated her like reaching out, and not reaching out to me so I can educate her. She kind of already did that, and currently doing that, and having those vital conversations with her son and her family, because she's white, so it's more eye-opening to them. But she just told me how sorry she is, how the things that she's doing, not to prove that she is not racist, but literally things that she's doing to help have conversations, because all of this starts with heart change. As far as what's happening with the racial injustice happening right now, it starts with heart change, with people seeing others as people regardless of the skin color they have. And that conversation really encouraged me, and I pray that it encourages you as a Black woman in corporate America to be more open to having conversations like that, although we may be going through feelings of anger and sadness. And I know it's a weird time during the pandemic to talk to your coworkers because we're not seeing them in person, but I just want to encourage you that like there's still good people out there. Although there is a lot of evil in this world, there's still good people out there. Being a Black woman in corporate America is super unique. It's like no other. It's a bomb, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not in corporate America and you are believing in God for a job in corporate America, I want to encourage you to keep on keeping on, keep on applying, keep on doing what you have to do. So we can increase the amount of, you know, melanin filled Black women that's in this field, because it's not a lot of us, especially in my field, computer science. It's not a lot of us. The tech field is not a lot of us. If you see me and you see that I was able to do it, you can do it too. You can. Okay, y'all, so that's pretty much it for this video. I forgot how I close my videos a little bit. It's kind of been a while. I was uploading Zoom calls, so it's been a while since I sat down in front of the boxes to record. But if you have any experiences being a Black woman in corporate America, let me know down in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. It's always a pleasure to chat with y'all. I pray that you're doing well, like I said before, and I love y'all so much. I remember now. As always, it's been fun. It's been real fun. Peace and I have a new chair, y'all, so I can actually turn. Peace and blessings. Bye.